Without Evidence, a 1995 movie about the murder of Oregon Corrections Chief Michael Francke, was shown this week at Salem Cinema, drawing a large crowd and speakers who talked about the mystery of Francke's death and the creation of the full-length film that was created through the inspiration of Kevin Francke, the brother of the slain corrections director.
He died a horrible, violent death, and it's a death for me that's still up in the air. And there's an innocent man that's being punished.
Proceeds raised by the film will be used to support the Inglewood Forest Festival in Salem that happens August 11th. Michael Francke was murdered January 17, 1989. He was deeply involved in the investigation of criminal corruption at the Oregon State Penitentiary and about to reveal the findings to Oregon's legislature, which would spell the doom for a number of Oregon corrections officials who had their hand in the money bag.
The Michael Francke story is kind of like JFK, kind of, I think, that it's an enduring mystery and nobody just wants it to be a car clout gone wrong. And Mike was such a good guy, he was an honest guy, he was an ethical guy, and the fact that he'd come from another state, cleaned up, things in New Mexico and come here, people believe that that's what he was doing here, and it's great to see that there's still interest in the life of Mike Francke and what happened to him.
What it all came down to was big money being generated by cocaine sales, inmate labor abuse that had been compared to human slavery, murder, and a long list of other criminal activities. When you worked at the penitentiary, people talk about this?
Oh, yes.
What would you hear?
Well, I would hear that it was the inside job. Francke had all the information to bring him down, and they just had to take him out.
And you went to work for the prison system in the, 2005 range, right?
That's right.
And all the signs of that same corruption were still taking place?
Correct. The same, this is what the deal is. DOJ, they know that Francke was murdered by inside job. They know this, but they want to cover it up. It's just that simple. I reported hate crimes to them, and they threw it under the table. They do not want to turn the people in. So when you got something big, you must die. That's just the way it is.
We're stepping on the wrong toe.
Whose toes are we talking about,
You better
Gordon?
keep your ass out of these places, Kevin, because when they go down, you're going down with them.
You threatening me?
I don't need to threaten you. You're a dead man.
In a very shady case, the state of Oregon convicted a petty drug dealer named Frank Gable for the murder of Michael Francke. He is still in prison today, nearly 3 decades later. Analysis of the facts of the case suggests Gable could not possibly have committed the crime for a number of reasons. The person who many believe actually killed Francke is a former Oregon drug dealer and criminal for hire named Tim Natividad. He was shot to death 2 weeks after Francke's murder during a domestic violence episode against his longtime girlfriend, Liz Godlove. The shooting ultimately was considered justified. Godlove would later marry Michael Francke's brother, Kevin Francke, as he pursued his investigation into his brother's murder. Her character in Without Evidence is played by Anna Gunn.
I never saw him with Tim, but he used to hang out with TJ, Tim's big brother in the old days.
So, Liz, just how does it feel to see the subject of this story here in Salem come back to you tonight? I mean, what went through your mind as you were watching the movie?
It hasn't gone away. It'll always be with us. And I'm so happy that it was a big turnout tonight. A lot of people really care about the corruption.
What was it like to see Liz walk in?
Oh, it was great. After all those years, I had talked to Kevin on the phone and I didn't understand that Liz was coming. To come walking in to the Salem Cinema, that's pretty cool. And to have, a touchstone with history with the Francke murder, that's just, wow, that's great.
So just real quickly, you and Kevin, how long have you guys been together?
Oh my gosh.
And how many kids do you have?
Going on 30 years. We have 3 children. We're really happy still.
People say the nicest things about you guys.
Oh, I met some really nice folks here tonight.
The night of the murder, Michael Francke's car door was found open around 6:30 p.m. A search of the area revealed nothing. Then, around 11 p.m., Michael Francke's body was found on the north portico of the Dome building, Department of Corrections headquarters in Salem. Trying to escape his attackers, Francke broke the glass panel in the door, attempting to get inside as he died from his stab wounds. This is Michael Francke's car, the late 1980s Pontiac discovered around 6:30 with the door open, as it was removed from the scene of the crime. And here is Francke's car today, frozen in time, sitting in Oregon State Police storage 29 years after the crime.
I lied. They wanted this thing over worse than anybody does.
Including actors like Angelina Jolie, Without Evidence offers an inside look at what Kevin Francke says was an inside job to murder his brother, to prevent him from revealing the intense criminal corruption activity taking place inside the Oregon prison system. In Salem, I'm Tim King.